You playing stream.
Off-world, I don't mind the tourists. They help the local economy.
Those folks. Hi there. Always nice seeing a new face.
Sure would be nice to get off-world sometime.
Mute one. Where's the room?
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But a word of warning.
Maybe it's more a dormitory.
I kind of want to try food from that junk's place, but my papa says it's just a bunch of junk food for tourists.
Maybe.
What can I do for you? I'll treat you if you need it, but please try to be more careful around here. It's a harsh world, but as long as you're inside or wear a suit when going out, you'll be fine here. There's no breathable air on the surface, and you'll quickly freeze to death outside without protective gear, but otherwise the hazards are minimal. New Homestead was an early colony research base and has stood the test of time. It's safe, and it's proof that people can live pretty much anywhere. Don't worry so much. Even though we don't have shiny new medical facilities, I imagine it's easier than wherever you're from. We have fewer people here, and we're very responsible when it comes to our personal health and welfare. So there's not much I can't handle. For anything else, we can get access to off-world specialists. Contrary to popular belief, we're not primitive. I don't. They make a mockery of New Homestead culture. And on top of it, they're reckless. It's like I said before, I feel like I'm treating them more often than our own people. The problem is that most of the tourists' injuries are from preventable accidents. Things our people know how to avoid. And often I have to take care of them first because they can't leave with their injuries, so I have to put off seeing my regular patients.
I agree with
So
you.
not only am I working extra hard for people who have little respect for me, it comes at the expense of our own. Actually, maybe there is. I have an idea that may be best suited for someone relatively unknown, instead of myself. I've got a mountain of work and a reputation to maintain. So I bought a realistic monster costume. The plan was to wear it, scare tourists away, and start a rumor about terrible creatures living on Titan. I figure that once word gets around, tourism will take enough of a dive to give me some relief. Maybe, I'm not sure. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't have any other ideas. The tourism board flat out won't help me, and I don't have money in the budget to hire additional help. And you know these tourists will believe anything they see and hear. I think it's worth a shot. Worst case scenario, I'm back to square one.
But tourists bring maybe it's a good income to this town. It isn't mentioned in the answers to her. Okay.
That's the spirit. To be honest, I'm not sure it'll work either, but I feel like there's no harm in trying. Here's the costume. I think this will work best on the surface, so just find a group and run up to them, acting like a convincing alien monster. With any luck, they'll run screaming and book the next flight out of here.
Okay, let's try.
Hello.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
Are you standing outside under such a cold weather, such a cold conditions? Okay, let's go out and put on this suit. Maybe it's a bug. Right.
You all can travel the stars, but someone's got to respect and preserve the old soul traditions. I overheard you speaking to my wife, Mara, filling her head with ideas about picking up and leaving home. You got anything to say for yourself?
What if I take off mine? What will happen? Let's check. Or maybe it's dangerous, I'll see. Okay. Let's put it again. It was a bad idea. Let's put on use your spacesuit. Oh. What is it? Okay, it's a thermal airborne corrosive. Are you kidding? It doesn't protect? Let's put on hazmat suit. Maybe it will help a little. Big vessels. They're so far. Line.
It's going to eat us! Run!
You can jump, like me. Not run. Oh, I see, you jump. So high. Didn't you see the monster over here?
We'll make do. Those folks, lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
Run! There's a monster out there! Get out of my way! I'll be chased!
I'm on the tour.
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
We used to get more tourists.
New Homestead is a living history exhibit. But these are real.
Is he injured? Maybe not.
Ah! I'm so much energy. I want to run around. It's always so
What are you doing?
Did you scare off those tourists yet? Okay, I'll take a look at you. Wow, did you get a little boo-boo? Come here, I'll treat it. A few stitches, and you'll be on your way. Okay,
Thank
looks
you.
like you're good to go now. Oh, I'm glad it worked. Thank you. With any luck, I'll be able to give more attention to my regular patients now. Tell you what, if you want to come back later and do this for me a couple more times, I'll even let you keep the costume.
Thank you. I'll put it in my collection.
Do you need medical assistance? I bought it from a private seller. They said they got it from someone who wore it in a secondary school as their sports team mascot. I guess it was supposed to be a tardigrade or something. Anyway, the person I bought it from modified
Nice
it a bit so
mascot.
they could use it in an independent movie they were making. But I guess that went nowhere, so they had to sell it. Lucky me, I suppose. Stay safe.
Go to Regular City later. What other quests are here? Is that all? Wait. There was some another one.
This colony's a lot smaller than I thought.
Come to New Homestead for the history. Stay for the quaint charm. Why would I want a tour of New Homestead, he says. Well, let me tell you, New Homestead is living history. These people are direct descendants of some of the first settlers to leave Earth. If you've ever wanted to know what that early colonial life was like, this is your chance to embark on a fun-filled exhibition unlike any other.
It was a place of beauty and unimaginable.
Definitely check out the Brown Horse Tavern. Good food, great atmosphere.
I've been there.
Avoid spending too much time outdoors. It's freezing out there. Any more than that, well, I'd be giving away the tour for free. None taken. I get it all the time. If you think it sounds made up, well, that's because it is. I come from an eccentric family. Back in the early days of space travel, generations ago, my ancestors were really into science fiction. They wanted a name that seemed like it fit into the stories they grew up with, so they changed their last name, and the Starsap family name was born. Used to be Bramblefoot before that. Their ancestors liked a different type of fiction. Excellent! You won't regret it! My tours are one of a kind! Now, there's just the matter of price. The going rate for a genuine Starsap tour is only 100 credits. Well... 100 credits is very reasonable, I think. Well... I don't usually do exposure, but you certainly seem like a well-traveled individual. Maybe it'd be good for business. Tell you what, I like you. This one's on the house, but if you enjoyed the tour, I'd really appreciate if you'd tell all your friends about me when it's done. So let's get this show on the road, eh? All right, so
I could have sworn I've seen those space posters somewhere.
Didn't exist when the original outpost, Titan Astrobase, was finished in 2130. Follow me. We'll come back here by the end of the tour and talk about the museum collection. But first, let's go see where people live. Now remember, these people aren't actors. They actually live here, so try to be respectful of that. While the original inhabitants of the Titan Astrobase lived in pods like you saw up above, they transitioned down here when this section of the base was finished in 2144. Space is extremely limited, so you'll notice some overflow here, but more residences also exist on lower levels, which are inaccessible to tours. I'll stop at each of our destinations if you want to look around.
Do you have a spaceship?
Or if you have any
I
questions
want to get a
for
spaceship
me.
when I'm older. They're so cool.
Have any questions so far? Oh, sure, I'll be here waiting. The locals love to talk with tourists, but they'll let you know if they're busy. So please respect them. Have any questions so far? Sadly, it's difficult to get additional construction done inside these underground caverns. So for now, additional populations are housed in these stacks of old shipping crates. As you might expect, this is where some of the less wealthy can afford to live. It's not glamorous, but they are functional and cozy. The original Titan Astrobase had more habitation pods on the surface connected to some of the old structures you may have seen in the back. As the colony grew, the base was expanded underground, and those hab units were recycled into materials used down here. I'm not sure the exact count, but New Homestead is a fairly small colony. What you see is what you get for the most part, except for some other people who live in the private lower levels. Some, particularly security, and yours truly, even commute from other worlds. Alrighty, we'll be taking the residential elevator to the farms area on the surface level. This way, please. Let's leave these good people alone for now and go check out the farms. Follow me up the elevator.
This is a boring assignment, but let's keep it that way.
New Homestead's farms are the beating heart of the colony. Without them, the original outpost would have shriveled and died.
I
These
could really
pods
go
are
for some
sealed
of Anya's
and
cooking
climate
over in
controlled, a
Troutdorf's.
perfect environment for growing the hydroponic
Don't tell it,
vegetation
Papa.
needed for
But I'm the
survival
one who's
in
been
the
putting up
early
pictures of
days
that
of the
silly
colony.
space frog guy around here.
Do you come from one of those planets with beautiful skies and fresh air? My, how I'd love to visit one
there.
day.
Always nice seeing a new face.
Any questions about the farms? Oh, they are indeed. Colonists still cultivate plant-based food for their own consumption here in New Homestead. It's less vital to their survival these days, as they also import supplemental food from other colonies, including meats, dairy, and synthetics. However, most citizens here take pride in a New Homestead-grown, sustainable diet. These days, it's a mix of what you find elsewhere in the galaxy, but in the olden days, it was all brought over from Earth. It was a lot of hearty root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, beets, and such, supplemented with corn, peas, green beans, soy, etc., which didn't always grow as well. Good question. It's largely the same, because this was the colony that pioneered the techniques you see elsewhere. But you'll notice that the farms here are smaller and staffed by humans, not robots. Things here are a little more old-fashioned compared to some of the large factory farms you'll find elsewhere in the settled systems. Onward it is! We'll be stopping by the Brown Horse Tavern later in the tour, which uses many of these locally sourced ingredients in their cooking. But for now, it's just a short way to our next stop. Follow me! So, the old biolabs are just on the other side of this building, believe it or not. We'll step on through the hallway there. They're not in use anymore, but the colony has faithfully recreated them as a historical exhibit, true to the original purpose of the Titan Astrobase. Sadly, they're undergoing some light renovation. Otherwise, there'd be interactive activities for kids to learn about how they used to search for microbial life here. Pardon the dust, but I can still answer some questions about the old Titan Astrobase biolabs. Funny you should ask! Sadly, none. See, NASA funded the Titan Astrobase project because conditions seemed ripe for primordial life to form in Titan's methane pools. They tested many different sites, performed deep core ice drilling, and more, yet nothing turned up. Well, NASA defunded the xenobiology program in 2132, but a scientist by the name of Catherine Neely proposed research into advanced colony building on inhospitable worlds. So, by 2135, work began on what would ultimately set us all up to create habitats anywhere humans dared to explore. These very labs housed the computer systems used in that research. That and general storage for the colony. Lots of storage. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot to mention that. That's what this place was originally called. When NASA divested its interest in the Astrobase and turned it over to the people back in 2185, they renamed it New Homestead and established it as a historical site. You got it! On to our next stop! Next, we'll be heading outside, so make sure to check those seals on your suit, because it's a bit chilly out there. We're going out into the frozen wastes of Titan to see what powers this planet. Watch your step outside, by the way. The ice can be slippery if you're not careful. The goal is to keep people out of Dr. Lakota's infirmary.
Sure would be nice to get off-world sometime.
Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. Powering New Homestead. As you might imagine, generating energy was a real challenge back in the day because the technology was much more crude then. But crude or not, it was that technology that sustained the old Astro base. And it might surprise you to learn that the same technology is still working today. The interesting thing about this old colony is that it's mostly powered by clean, renewable energy. You'll see one of the methods used on the horizon up ahead. That's right! New Homestead's famous wind farms! This spot was chosen for the colony in part because of its constant winds. These turbines have been integral to the colony's function since its establishment as a cheap, mostly reliable source of electricity. So, let's talk about wind power, shall we? Mostly. I'm sure you've noticed the occasional brownouts. I guess these old machines have a habit of freezing up, what with all the ice out here. There's some methane on reserve for critical life support systems, but everything else here is otherwise powered by the units you see here. You're looking at a piece of history! Sure, wind power is used throughout the galaxy, but these people were able to make do with it for hundreds of years! It's impressive that was all they had back then, and still make it work to this day! You're right. Most surface wind on Titan isn't too terribly strong, but here, the altitude and other conditions are perfect for sustained wind power. Like many worlds with atmosphere, the higher you go, the windier it gets. You're the boss. Let's go. Moving right along, we're going to learn about Titan's great natural resources. Titan is rich with hydrocarbons like methane and ethane. Surely you saw huge pools of the stuff on your descent into New Homestead. I like to think they add to the natural beauty of this world. Though, of course, stay away from them because, like anything beautiful, they can be dangerous. Just like my last ex-wife's pet. She had this gorgeous, I don't know what you'd call it, creature. The guy that sold it to her couldn't tell her what it was or where it was from. I don't think it was even a legal sell, to be honest. The thing was very easy on the eyes. Feathers, all the colors of the rainbow. Nasty bite, though. Wound up in the hospital and almost lost my hand. Still not enough for her to get rid of the dang thing. Anyway, there's a reason she's my ex-wife. But enough about me. We were talking about methane and other resources, right? Hey, can you believe it? Back in the 20th century on Earth, they used to fight wars over natural resources like this and petroleum. They had this whole moon here basically made of hydrocarbons in their own backyard. They just couldn't get to it. Incredible how far we've come. New Homestead is home to one of the oldest and largest methane processing plants in the settled systems. Every year, UC engineers go through a painstaking, month-long maintenance process. It's how this place has remained operational as long as it has. I'm not going to take you too close to the machinery, liability and all, but I can still answer questions. Questions? Fire away! Exports mostly, since this world is so methane-rich and has the infrastructure for it, a lot of the UC's methane comes from Titan. Of course, new homesteaders use it themselves for everything from generating heat to turning it into breathable oxygen by a modern science. Oh, no one's ever asked me that before. Something to do with methane-eating microbes, I believe? I honestly don't know. Sorry. It's not as if they shut down for a month. It's not shut down at all, actually. See, this place is built with redundant systems, so they can shut it down piece by piece and suffer only a reduction in throughput. During that time, the UC gets more of its resources from other places, allowing New Homestead to maintain what it needs. Okie dokie, artichokey. There will be time for more later anyway. So, this next stop is a bit of an interesting one. I only recently made it part of the tour. Fun fact, it's also the only natural landmark on the tour. What we're about to see is a glacial spire we affectionately call Ymir's Horn. This colus used to be named after a character in a popular fantasy novel, but it was changed a couple hundred years ago to avoid any potential litigation. Now, what's a colus, you might say? Colus derives from the Latin word for hill, and scientists only gave names to groups of hills on a planet's surface. So in reality, the term you hear more often is the plural, coles, with an E. You probably don't hear it very often where you're from, because it was usually a term reserved for unexplored planets, back when they didn't have the technology to describe what they were seeing firsthand. Because of that, the term is much more common in the Sol system, but you may still hear it occasionally in reference to uncharted worlds. This planet's full of them, though, and they like to preserve that history here. So here it is, Ymir's Horn. You're free to take a closer look if you like. How about that? You really know your stuff. Maybe you should be the one giving the tour. I kid. I'm not sure. I heard someone say that before. Something about the worn-down remains of an ancient volcano producing ice via steam? I don't know. It sounds like you understand this stuff better than I do. According to ancient Norse mythology, Ymir was the first Jotun, a frost giant. In the legend, they were both male and female and gave birth to the progenitors of all giants from their armpits. Ymir even predated the Norse gods, who, as it turns out, killed Ymir to fashion the earth and all of humanity from the corpse. It's a fascinating story, and the horn here is a fitting tribute to it. Excellent! On to the next stop, then! So, we're gonna head back inside, through the methane processing plant.
not sure that these space frog pictures fit with our tradition, but
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But a word of warning, she really doesn't care for tourists. I just got a message. Looks like something in Sector 3.
again? That's the second time this month.
I know. I'll send someone to go patch it up again. We do what we gotta do.
This area we're walking through is the nerve center of the plant, where technicians keep an eye on the operation. Since methane production is such an important part of the colony's livelihood, it's important that the techs notice any issues and react to them quickly. Anyway, we're headed into the ice mines. It's a natural spring where water bubbles up from deep below, but due to the cold, it keeps freezing as it reaches the surface. You're welcome to keep your suit on if you'd like. As you might expect from a place called the ice mines, it can get a little chilly. It takes miners working daily to clear the ice, melt it down, and keep the water flowing. What else can I tell you about the ice mines? Not all. Some water is created as a byproduct of methane processing, but that's usually saved in the emergency reserves. Good question. I believe it has something to do with not wanting to contaminate the water with methane and other chemicals. The ice helps prevent impurities in the water. At least this is what I've been told. I wouldn't recommend it. First, it's an active work site. Second, it still needs to be filtered and checked for contaminants. But don't worry, we'll stop somewhere for refreshments before the tour is over. Sounds good. Let's keep going then. We have just one more stop before we're done with the tour, and it just happens to be my favorite. This colony is home to the longest-running establishment still in existence, the Brown Horse Tavern. The Brown Horse started as a simple mess hall for the scientists and workers when the underground was built, but it's been operated by the same family ever since. Now, what's a horse, you might say? They were a large four-legged animal on Earth, often used for transportation or manual labor. Long before space travel was even a dream for the folks of Earth, even before antique machines like automobiles were possible, horses could be found everywhere. You might have seen them in old movies or read about them somewhere. If not, I highly recommend looking into them sometime. They're beautiful animals. The tavern's original owner was infatuated with them, from what I understand, and named the place in their honor. The moniker, Brown Horse Tavern, is also a throwback to names of similar Earth restaurants hundreds of years before it was established. That delicious smell is making me hungry. Can I answer anything about the Brown Horse? Easy. All the other ones fell to ruin when we abandoned Earth. There were technically older ones on Mars, but those have long since shuttered or been replaced. Ooh, that's a tough one. I honestly love everything Anya serves here. I'd be doing her a disservice to recommend one dish over another. You want the real answer? Order one of everything. Anya Seattle is the current owner of the Brown Horse. It's been in the Seattle family for generations. But Anya will be able to tell you more herself. Feel free to ask her. It doesn't feel right coming from me when she's standing right over there. Okay then. All right, we're headed to the last stop. Right back where we began. Feel free to check out the museum exhibit in the main concourse here. These displays are full of rare Earth trinkets salvaged from before humanity left, and Maurice is happy to talk about the collection. The museum's curator, Maurice, will be happy to talk to you if you want to know more.
Oh, I can't imagine living here. These people sure are hardy.
Well, that's that! I hope you enjoyed Starsap tours as much as I enjoy giving them. Oh, wow. I really appreciate it. You know, I rely on tips from good people like you, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy the rest of your stay in New Homestead. Take care!
This garden is a lot smaller than I thought it would.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Feel free to look around, but don't touch.
It's not easy keeping these ancient turbines going. I wish more people realized that.
Hi. Me? I guess? My therapist told me I should try recording notes to myself as a way to, cope with this drastic life change. I guess the goal is to look back on it later and see progress. Anyway, I've been living here in New Homestead for, 3 months now? And it hasn't been easy. The locals are a little wary of people coming in from the outside, but they know they need me here because their previous power systems manager died unexpectedly. Got stuck out in the cold with a suit puncture. Alcohol may have been involved. Remind me not to make that same mistake. Where was I? So, I decided to go all in and change my family name to show these people I'm serious about their home. It's caused some drama with my parents, but ultimately, they understand. And to be honest, I kind of like it. I've always loved the history of this place, from its inception as an outpost searching for life, to researching how to build colonies on harsh worlds, and now as a living history museum. It's really... crap. The lights are struggling to stay on again. Well, back to fixing this place. Talk to you, me, later.
Titan's such an incredible place for renewable energy. Oh, hello there. Are you here about the brownouts? That's usually the only reason people come up here to talk to me, since I'm the power system manager here. Yes, the power shortages we're experiencing. Haven't you seen the flickering lights? This equipment is all very old, and the protections against the cold have worn down, so now, brownouts, all the time. And I get to deal with it. Hooray for me. Oh. Yep, I get it all right. Yes, I'm in charge of the electrical power here. We generate a lot of wind-based power here on Titan, which is my specialty, so I was tapped to help navigate all the unique challenges we face here. Shocking, I know. Of course you did. That's okay. It's a problem here. Citizens and visitors alike have a right to know what's going on and when to expect a fix. Problem is, I don't know how long we'll have to deal with this, because I'm needed here to oversee the whole system, and we don't currently have anyone available to go out and solve the issue at the moment. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm a little new to the job, and I'll admit I'm struggling a little bit. I could use some help. I could use someone who's handy with a laser cutter to break up the ice that's formed on some of the power system machinery out there. That should clear up the shorts we've been experiencing and stop the brownouts. Does that sound like something you can do? Oh, thank you. I guess I'm lucky you showed up then. Just be careful not to hurt yourself or the equipment. I'll continue to monitor things from here. How's it going out there with the ice? Great. I just saw the readings and everything looks good. Thanks again for your help. Some of the locals dislike tourists, but I love learning new insights from them. Did you see those huge wind turbines out there on your way in? They're our primary source of power generation. Titan's strong winds provide an almost constant source of power, as long as we can keep the machinery from icing over. Well, I just started this job a few months ago, but I'm loving it, despite all the small frustrations of working on ancient equipment. I came here as a child and did one of the tours. I loved it so much, I jumped at the chance to come back after finishing my studies in energy science. I know it may sound unusual, but I knew what I was getting into with Titan's harsh surface. The challenge is actually one of the things that attracted me to the job. No, New Atlantis, born and raised. It's okay though. I've always liked this quaint little moon. Not that it's actually that little as far as moons go. The people here were a little wary of someone coming in from the outside, but once I changed my name in accordance with their local customs, it went a long way to build trust. And that was fine by me. I feel proud, taking on the name of the Earth City my family came from many, many years ago. Bye.
Look around, but do not touch.
Ranger?
Welcome. You've chosen Chunks. What a great choice. What chunks can I get you? Huh. I thought it was a joke at first, but yet, here you are. Let me get that for you. I wonder why they keep running out so quickly over there. Anyway, tell Luther I said hi. The Chunks family is happy to see you, and to serve you. What can I get you? Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your chunks. Thanks for choosing Chunks. Which chunks would you like today? Welcome to Chunks, home of the best chunks in the settled systems. You've chosen Chunks. What a great choice. What chunks can I get you? The Chunks family is happy to see you, and to serve you. What can I get you? Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your chunks. Thanks for choosing Chunks. Which chunks would you like today?
Feel free to look around. New Homestead is a living history exhibit. These are real people. So please be kind to them.
Enjoy your visit here.
Careful out there. Some wacko is running around in an obvious.
All right, lay it on me. Let's take a look. Man, you really saved my butt. Corporate's gonna see just how much this place is gonna turn around. Thanks again.
Did you see those wind turbines out there? Wow.
Yes. What?
Checking in on us again? Hey, you need something? Okay, I'm listening. What's going on? Backup? What does that have to do with me? come with you? You can't be serious. There's no way Percival would okay that. I have important work to do here with the TMD. Percival just can't help meddling, can he? I can't just pick up and leave the TMD. That's a huge decision. That's supposed to make me feel better? That old geezer will drive the place into the ground if I let him have his way. But if he wants to lose one of his best scientists to field work, that's on him. We'll see how long he lasts without me. If you really need backup out there, I'll watch your six. You can count on me to pull my weight. I'll always help out in combat, and I'm happy to assist you with any research, too. Having an extra xenosociologist around on this assignment sure couldn't hurt. We'll be dealing with plenty of hostile creatures. Yeah, I think so, too. Thank you for the offer. Really. It was unexpected, but I think this'll be for the best. Both for me and for the settled systems. I'll head out soon. I just need to talk to Percival before I go. He's gonna get an earful for arranging this without talking to me about it first. See you, Captain.
Guns are hot! Going in! Take out one of the guns!
I think we had it covered. Any way we can repay? Of course. Thanks again for the help.
monsters. Built like tanks, but well past their warranty. It's gonna take hours to fix this, if we can get the engine back online at all. Sorry, company policy is only employees are allowed on the ship. If you step foot on here, I'm out of a job. I got a hot package that's paid for. They'll dock my pay if it doesn't get to its destination. Star Parcel will reward you well if you can assist. Ah, excellent. All you need to do is drop this off to the ship services technician on Aquila City. They'll take it from there. Thanks for bailing me out of this nightmare.
Something I can do for you? Sure. Got some items worth looking at.
Hey, stranger. Maybe you can talk some sense into this Ron Hope fangirl here.
Better Ron Hope than Walter Stroud. Wow, how amazing. But am I right? Or am I right? Well, maybe...
Let me tell you, what matters is the...
So what? See. Oh.
The latest model? I am surprised. Give it a few years. And
Ron Hope's man...
You say that like... Thanks, straight...
Meet up at the hitching post?
Yeah.
All right.
I am sick to death hearing about your...
Hostility will not be tolerated. Damn! There was a grab drive.
Clear for takeoff, Captain. And with that, next adventure starts.
Do you need something, Captain? Hi there, Captain.
have a nice day now.
Got anything you need to offload? We're asking everyone to take care of any leeches on their ships. You the courier? I've been expecting. Star Parcel has your payment right here. Anything else?
If you're looking to stay, Starfield on the Starfield Oracle. We are expecting anomalous environmental readings. Members of the crew have been compromised. Do not